Okay, it's September 2013. This is my very first vlog and I'm going to show you how to make one of my vegetable stews. You're going to need a fairly decent sized crock pot. This one holds about 750 mils. You're also going to require some olive oil, some soy sauce, dark or light, that's your choosing, 115 grams of the chopped tomatoes in tomato sauce, and about 300 grams of jointly 300 grams of diced butternut squash and sweet potato. You also need 200 grams of your favourite frozen veg. For today I've got sweet corn, some sliced swede and carrot, some chopped up broccoli and cauliflower florets, and there's some French beans and sliced runner beans. We also have at least a half handful of red lentils and about a quarter handful of pre-soaked chickpeas. Now then, you will also need some chicken stock. You can use vegetable stock if you wish. I tend to go either way. You'll need at least 500 mils of that. So, now to the spices, which you have here. They are all mixed together, very fragrant, very nice, gives a nice flavour to it. It is exactly 1 teaspoon of the mixed herbs, 1 teaspoon of the ground garlic, a half teaspoon of the salt, a half teaspoon of Chinese 5-spice, a half teaspoon of the ground turmeric, and a half teaspoon of the smoked paprika. You want a quarter teaspoon of the ground ginger and the black pepper. And for your oven, you want to preset it. If you have a fan assisted oven, then place it on that, but you want it at 200 degrees C or 390 Fahrenheit, and that would be gas mark 6 if you have a gas cooker. Now comes the fun part, putting it all together. Okay, you want to add in your frozen veg first, and you will follow that with the sweet potato and butternut squash. As you can see, it gets quite full quite quickly, but don't worry, it will reduce down once everything begins to soften during cooking time. Okay, so we'll just spread those out just a little bit, just to make a little bit more space. Now, as I said, the vegetables, they will shrink down. The butternut squash and the sweet potato will soften very nicely. It helps to thicken the sauce. Okay, now we want to add in the lentils and the chickpeas. And as you can see, it's coming along quite nicely. Now we want to add the tomato. Be the first bit of liquid that goes into it. And basically what you want to do is you just want to try and stir this around a little bit so that it's, kind of mixed up a little, but just be careful because it will try and escape out the top of the pot. So just go gently with it, try and stir it around a little bit so that the chickpeas and everything gets mixed together. So it should begin to look a little bit like this. Now comes the part where we make the stock up. Now, this will work any way that that you do it. It can either be some that you've made yourself, or as with me, it's a little store-bought thing here that you basically put it in hot water, stir it around till it melts, and hey presto. So, once you've gotten that done, that is like a sort of jelly, but yeah, it'll basically turn into a very nice, fragrant and tasty stock once it's done. Now that that's done, all we need to do is pour it over the vegetables. The trick to this is to be very careful because you don't want it to go over the side of the pot. And this is the main bulk of liquid that will be going into this. And as you can see, it does tend to fill it up quite easily. Much of this will evaporate off during cooking. Next up, you want a dash of your olive oil and a nice healthy dose, depending on your tastes, of the soy sauce. After which, you just need to stir those in. And last but not least, your seasonings. Just pop those in there. And obviously give them a nice good stir into the pot. Now then, now that your stew is ready to go in the oven, you have to make sure that you've preheated it for at least 10 minutes before you put the stew into the oven. On goes the lid. Now if you're a little bit concerned about overspillage, liquid seeping out the sides or anything like that, you can always put this on a tray, which actually might be a good idea today. And what you want to do is you want to put it in the oven for at least 45 minutes to an hour. I mean, you will take it out a time or two to stir the ingredients, that is recommended. And you'll know when it's ready because everything will just be lovely and soft. You will want it between midway and towards the top of the oven because it will cook a lot better in that way. And once that's done, once it's all cooked, you can have it with just about anything you fancy. I've often served it up with egg fried rice, which obviously you can make yourself if you wish, which I do. And it goes quite nicely with pasta as well. So, I hope you've all enjoyed my little instructional. And have fun cooking, people. Bye.